Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I hope the mic is working better this time. I notice I've been holding the camera upside down, and perhaps the mic was in the wrong place. So hopefully this one will turn out better. But I just noticed today marks the 3-month anniversary since my blessings from Marie Curie. So a little bit of background. My grandmother passed away in early December, December 5th, 2024. And I was at her funeral, and I asked her to, when she makes it to the other side, to go talk to Marie Curie. I wanted to get to network with some of Marie Curie's distant descendants. I had just returned to the dating scene, and I was having a lot of drama at the beginning. Let me bring up one example. This happened during it was at a Thanksgiving party where I ran into some difficulties. What had happened was I had gone to this meetup group. It was between Asian Americans. I believe it was like the Valley's Asian Community, Friends and Family, something like that, a meetup group. And I had sat down at this table, and I made the mistake of showing up a little bit fashionably late. And it was held at a pavilion in Chandler, and there was this bench, and I sat at the very end. And even though I was trying to talk to people there, all the eyes and ears pivoted toward the middle of the table. Nobody even gave me any eye contact. I was so depressed out of my mind. And when I got back to my car, I could hardly think about how to drive back home. I remember at the time I lived in Apache Junction, a good 30, 40 miles away, and I was depressed out of my mind. My grandmother had just passed away at this point in time, and when I read my grandmother's life story, I discovered that she was born just before Marie Curie had passed away. They had coexisted here for 6 months, and that's when I thought maybe they could communicate with one another. And that was the inspiration for why I asked grandmother to go talk to Marie Curie. Now, my grandmother was cremated. I gave my grandmother, in her casket, I left a piece of bismuth, about half a pound, for her to hand to Marie Curie, so that Marie Curie could continue her research on polonium-210, which is now made of bismuth. And the casket was cremated, put into an urn, and I guess grave robbers will probably be thinking about breaking in there just about now. Hopefully the high price won't last very long. I do want to continue working with bismuth soon. I got home and I started having much better fortunes. And all of the girls that I've been meeting had some kind of nexus with Marie Curie. A bunch of scientists, a bunch of people who were within her family, and then I met quite a few girls who were born on anniversaries involving Marie Curie. So I met a girl in Texas. She was born almost exactly 100 years to the day after Marie Curie had discovered radium-226. And while I was flying out there to see her, I got flight number 1934. And that just gave me a nice warm fuzzy feeling that Marie Curie was looking after me. And I was at the student union about a month ago, and this student from a different department, we had a good conversation, and I discovered she was born exactly 100 years to the day when we lost Pierre Curie in 1906. And so one day, she's studying something completely different, but after she learned what I was teaching, she was considering pivoting her studies, and that gave me a nice warm fuzzy feeling. I showed her around our department, and unfortunately, I have a lot of anxiety. So after I showed her around, I went home for the day and I was exhausted. And I got into a huge fight with my roommate because I told my roommate, could you please give me some space? I'm exhausted after what had happened today, and he didn't really understand. I do need to find better roommates who understand what I'm going through, that's for sure. But anyways, I get to go on yet another blind date soon, and I hope to go see Marie Curie in her grave at some point. Actually, not her grave. In Warsaw, there's a statue of Marie Curie, and that's where I believe her final resting place is. I don't believe uh, France is where she calls home. And plus, it's a little bit safer to visit that statue rather than her actual grave anyway. And hopefully she'll bring me some good fortunes in the coming years. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.